Welcome, friends. Ani, Bojo, Tanzi, Kwekwe. It's Catherine at Moonstarlodge here in Central Ontario. As an Indigenous lodge owner, I'm tasked as an elder with giving teachings from the perspective of my ancestry. And so I am here today with the weekly reading for May 2nd to May 8th. And I'm taking it back old school, the way we used to do it. And I'm talking about the moon cycle of listening woman. So we are here in the red zone. We're starting moon cycle number 5. So we're just about here where the end of my finger is. Right there. There we go. Oh, on the other side. There we go. There we are. I'm backwards and upside down here. So moon cycle 5. So we're in the east portion, the red portion of the wheel. That portion started on spring equinox and runs until summer solstice. It is the in the tradition I was taught, and I had OG Cree elders. I also had Mi'kmaq elder in there. East is the time of eagle, the time of spring. It represents new moon or the beginning of a moon cycle, mourning the individual as a self in their selfhood, childhood, and it's a physical domain, and it represents earth in the teachings I was given. Now, this grandmother is called Listening Woman. She comes in on April the 30th, which is a solar eclipse, and it's the new moon. It was the second new moon in the month. I would like to tell you about Listening Woman. She is the mother of Tioe, the stillness, and inner knowing. She is the keeper of discernment and guardian of introspection, the interpreter of messages from the spirit world, the counselor and advisor, the keeper of hearing. She teaches us how to enter the stillness and hear our heart's small, still voice within, how to find and understand the inner knowing we carry in our spiritual essences, how to listen to the viewpoints and opinions of others and the voices of the ancestors, how to understand body language and unspoken thoughts, hearing with the heart. She teaches us how to hear the truth. I was also taught many years ago that she is the one that helps us not just hear the voice in our head, but feel our heart through our mind and think with our heart. So that's an interesting perspective. In a perfect year, such as is denoted here on my medicine wheel, and of course it changes, the moon cycles change from year to year. Her cycle would start on the 10th of April and run till the 7th of May. But because of the way the cycle is this year, we're starting her position much later. It's the Strawberries Ripen is the name of the moon cycle. Hawk and Thunderbird are her dotems, the clan and the dotem, typically speaking. Eagle is the spirit keeper that covers over that whole period of the red on the wheel. Her colors are red and black, so if you had ribbons for a regalia or on your medicine bundle, that would denote collectively who you are. The chakra that's associated with this grandmother is the sacral or the belly chakra. Strawberry is the healing plant, and we know that's used in ceremony as the heart berry, it's called. It looks like a heart, it looks like a uterus. It is the first fruit from the womb of Turtle Mother. It's very much a physical element, and fire is the element associated with this moon cycle. There are crystals, orange, brown, and blue crystals, and moonstone is associated with that grandmother. So the auspicious thing, as I mentioned, was the new moon, May 1st. So Sunday was Beltane. And the next thing we're looking at is a full moon perigee lunar eclipse on the 16th. So we're waxing. This energy of the new moon is waxing, but it's very much about listening. So let's go to the cards, Brian. So I'm using indigenous decks, and I have the Star That Never Walks Around by Stella Bennett, Native Spirit Oracle by Denise Lynn. I have the Medicine cards and the Sacred Path cards by Jamie Sams and David Carson. I have the Hide a Box of Knowledge by Terry Lynn Williams Davidson. I have the Shaman's Dream and the cards of Winds and Changes. Unfortunately, I don't have the box here anymore to show you. So we have a number of decks in play. Also a Stardust Lenormand is being used as clarifiers. So here's our Star That Never Walks Around tarot. We have 2 Totem cards from the Medicine cards. We have a Sacred Path card. We have the Denise Lynn Sacred card. Here's the Hide a Goddess. Here's the cards of Winds and Changes. This is the Sacred Path card. And these 4 cards are the clarifying Stardust Lenormand. And I think there's a puppy over here that needs to be picked up by the executive director and great film producer here. She's on this side, Brian, tapping at me. Okay, so we're going to start in the east. You see that I've laid out my medicine wheel. We're starting in the east. And we have the 4 of butterflies. Butterflies are the element of fire, and they are summer. They represent summer. So these 2 wolves are sitting down having a rest. This is a time of rest. You can't listen to listening woman if you're running crazy. You can't listen to your own soul and your own heart. It's clarified by ending. So we're taking a rest here because something that has come to an end, something has to end before something new begins. So this is this gestational period. Let's call it that. Moving to the south of the wheel, we have the moon. And a heart. So we are listening. Here's another wolf. Interesting. We are listening to the moon, this grandmother moon. We are listening and we are experiencing deep intuition. We needn't be concerned with fears. The, shall we say, dark side of the moon, all Pink Floyd jokes, sort of intended. The back side of the intuition and the resting with the moon is illusions, and illusions create fear. So you needn't sit with the illusion. You're in a place of loving and joyfulness as we look through this week. So we're creating, we're resting, We're listening to ancestors and totems, but especially our intuition. Moving here into the west position, we have the Page of Frogs. Frogs represent spring, and the Page of Frogs represents cups and water element. There's a lot of water element, actually, water and fire in this reading. So the Page of Cups is the artist. He's interested in pursuing things that are beautiful, interested in pursuing new endeavors that relate to love and passion and things that are of the heart. And if you're in the modus operandi of the page here of Frogs, you need to be aware of how much of a seducer you are and how attractive that you attract people. And sometimes you don't want those people, you know, the sycophants and the hangers-on, because they distract you from this passionate endeavor that perhaps has an artistic bent, but it's definitely emotional and intuitive, so it's in alignment here. Money is involved, and in the message I'm receiving about that, it's not an expenditure of money, it's the receiving of money, and money that's unexpected. In the north position, we have another cups, emotional, water-based thing, the 6. And this is about friendships, old and new, reminiscing about friendships in the past that may no longer be part of your life, but remembering them fondly, remembering the fun, perhaps, of childhood. Not to get caught up in that, though. If you're longing for things in the past, you're on the dark side of the moon here. So let's stick with the present and remembering to bring what you loved about the past forward into your present relationships and molding the dynamics, the boundaries, the things that bring joy about relationship. So this is a lovely setup here where we're resting and healing. Something is coming to an end. We're dealing with this beautiful moon cycle and listening to what's coming. We are thinking of things creative, and they're actually financially supportive, and we're remembering that we never do things alone. We have friends, and we're molding friendships in a good way, learning from perhaps things of the past. So that's a lovely foundation. And I want to go to the middle here, where I usually have ancestors, but I'm going to talk about the message from our deceased ancestors, starting here with the position of the south, which is stillness. Stillness is here. Stillness is here. This person is bringing themselves wholehearted to the water. They have the crystals, they have the clouds, they have the sky people, and clouds are represented here, and I didn't actually speak to that. The clouds could be obscuring some of the things about the past where we only see the beauty of stuff, but there are sadnesses too. So remember not to let the clouds obscure the rest of your week. And the clouds are here. The lightning is hitting the earth, and it brings an adjustment to Turtle Mother. So we have all the elements here. Earth, air, fire in the form of lightning, and water. So it's about acknowledging all parts of yourself, physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual, and really sitting down with the flow of this water to purify and connect. And there's your crystal element. So how do you bring this about? This is the time of ritual. The ritual card here is the stone people. The stone people are the record keepers. They not only record the evolution, the geological history of the earth, but they record the geological history of all the animals, humankind, plant life, everything. But they are the ones, the stones we pick connect with our higher selves. They cross dimensional planes, particularly things like a quartz. If you blow in a spirit ceremony, do a ritual. You need to do rituals with the stone people. So this is some crystal work this week. Perfect to do if you're pulling yourself into a place of stillness. Have your crystals, have your medicine bundle around you. Do a smudge ceremony, open your circle, pull out your crystals, and communicate with them. Ideally, because you're dealing with all 4 parts of yourself, you will have crystals with you that represent all parts of the chakra system. And in indigenous culture, we do 13 primary chakras, and of course secondaries, tertiaries. But you're going to have crystals that as much as you can, don't run to the store and go crazy. That's a left brain thing. But speak with your crystals, do journeys with your crystals, and find out what they have to tell you about tying your past and things, the good things of your past, into the present. So you're doing a ritual in honor of yourself, listening to what's coming, and incorporating absolutely listening woman. Now we have 2 totems to journey with this week. We have fox and we have moose. Moose is to the water element what buffalo is to the element of spirit. Moose is a great provider. It's a big, strong, people think of moose as stupid, but moose know how to handle their territory, how to teach their young. They provide for us. They know how to mark their territory. They know how to keep their territories from being overpopulated by other members. And every part, if a moose is taken down, we honor that moose. We lay down our tobacco because we use every part of that moose like we would use every part of buffalo. So it's very much an important thing to bring moose this week, to make sure you're plowing through and transitioning between water and land, and making sure that you use moose's strength. With fox, which gets a bad name, people are afraid of foxes. They think they're going to kill their cats and eat their poodles and that sort of thing. That's not what fox is about. Fox is your partner in the night, whereas moose is your partner in the day. Fox is about planning how to stealthily, without bringing danger to yourself, maneuver through situations that might otherwise be problematic. So fox is the one to help you in the night. Use your intuition and right use of moon energy, rather than falling into illusion and sadness and perhaps a sense of clouded despair. Fox is the one who teaches you how to take what you need and don't worry. Don't worry. Situations which seem overwhelming can be worked through between the strength of moose and the strength of fox. You do have hawk, you do have owl, and you do have the eagle. And that brings me to the shaman card. The shaman card here is Eyes of the Eagle, rising above the fray. So this is beautiful. The eagle certainly doesn't need a spyglass. So you've got all these bird totems, which are totems of spirit, our connection on the wings of eagle, our smoke and smudge, and our prayers are taken to the Creator. Going to the bigger picture, not being emotional, not being stuck in the past. You can't analyze something if you're off balance and too emotional. So you are delighting in endeavors here. This card is about making offerings. So the offerings tie in with your rituals for this week. The one card I haven't dealt with yet is the Justice card from the Haida Book of Knowledge. This is Volcano Woman. And she's probably the being I find the most, shall we say, intimidating. I don't find wolves intimidating. I don't find eagles intimidating. I find them very clear, very calm and clear. I don't find frogs intimidating. In fact, that's one of my elements. Moose can be intimidating if you don't respect their boundaries. But this goddess is the one here that I am intimidated by the most, and this is Volcano Woman. She's part of the origins of Haida Gwaii. She's a Haida goddess. And she is all about justice. So there's two aspects to this card, this goddess. Volcano Woman is very much about getting rid of things which are not just in our lives. It's about finding justice and having the strength and the power to be as a volcano. When things are not going right on the land, the volcano erupts and changes not just the situation, but the entire landscape, adding to it or taking away from the landscape. I've got fluffies here. In this sense, she's about going after something on behalf of someone else as well as yourself. So it's a situational justice, justice for people. My sense of it with so much water is justice for the water. We call the water Nibby, and the water needs help right now. This is the lifeblood of our planet, and when it is filled with microplastics and pollutants, and the shorelines are eroded, the marshlands are taken away. The marshlands are like the filters that take away toxins. So that's one possible area of justice she could be referring to, because she's looking at water at the base of the volcano. But there's a deeper meaning to justice, and this is about facing the self. This is about looking at, is our journey, is our daily walk in life. You can flip the camera. Is our walk in life following our moral compass? Is our moral compass in alignment with the issues that we see as just in the world? Do we practice engaging in looking at ourselves, particularly what is, unfortunately, an overused word, the shadow aspect of ourselves? Are we pointing fingers at others and able to analyze the injustice with others, but we haven't done it with ourselves? So when I look at the wheel that we presented this week with the wolves laying in repose, analyzing, with the wolf talking with the moon, analyzing. When I look at the ancestor sitting by the water with the thunder beings and the lightning and looking at all aspects of self, we're very much being called to deal with ritual, to actively do it, not say we're going to do it or think through a ritual while we're Netflixing. I think it's important to walk our talk. I think that's what Volcano Woman is saying to us. And to really know, because we're getting into the active time of the year. We're creating an incredible year. So Listening Woman's attributes include listening to the ancestors and the divine, and figuring out how to take the steps to honor our earth walk and our soul progression. Because, you know, what goes around comes around. So if we aren't walking our talk, aren't being just and fair with ourselves as well as bringing justice to the world, it's going to create difficulties for us. Anyway, I hope you liked this weekly video. It's a very powerful, it's gentle on some levels, beautifully introspective, but it's a very powerful message. I hope you can do your rituals and ceremonies and connect with Listening Woman. Go get yourself some strawberries and think of her and do your ceremonies. I ask that if you like it, give us a thumbs up, subscribe. We're doing a contest with YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, where when we get to 1,000 subscribers, we're going to give away a reading to one of those subscribers or the choice of a deck on all 3 platforms. You're welcome. Please leave comments. I love your comments and questions and the interplay we have. Send me a message. You can buy me a coffee on that platform. The link is down below, because we're getting ready over the next few weeks. We're working with some IT support to get our classes up and running. So anyway, we wish you well. Miigwech, aho, nyawen.